Boy oh boy, fantasy is a slog for me for sure. And I'm trying, guys. I really am. All right, hello my fellow readers. Today we're going to be doing another one in the series of I read blank for the first time. Okay. I am going to be reading a new genre today, and that is fantasy. I'm definitely not a fantasy reader. We'll see how this goes. I have a different I have a lot of different selections of books, and so I'm hoping one will hit. But first, let's show you what I'm gonna read first. Okay, so I'm gonna be reading Lady Tremaine because I do think I like fairy tales enough that I think this will get me into the genre rather than like dragons and fays and all of that. So let's try this, but I'm gonna read three different books, so we shall see. By the end of it, I'll tell you what I like, if I would read fantasy again, and what type of fantasy I like. But let's start off with this. Okay, hello. Am I in focus? This is a question I ask myself every single day. So, it's currently 9:45 on it's currently 9:45. I am, because I don't know when you guys are going to see this video, although I'd say the date, but I'm going on vacation in May, so I want to make sure I have stuff pre-filmed. Anyway, I am currently about 100 pages away from finishing this book, despite the fact that I read 30 pages only yesterday of it. I did finish an arc, though, of another book, so we're all good there. But I did read, I guess is what my point is here. Clearly I have not had a lot of coffee. I did a lot of this reading while I was on the elliptical this morning. I really didn't want to work out, so I literally just got on the elliptical for an hour. Not normally how I do things, but like, you know what? Desperate times call for desperate measures, and that's what I wanted to do, so that's what I did. So I got about 200 pages read of this. Like I said, I only have 100 pages left. I'm on page 236, so yeah, I have just about 100 pages to go. I will try to get that read before I go to work, but I have no idea, like, how that is going to be possible. But anyway, now I'm going to sit and have breakfast because I have yet to do that, and then I'll check in with you after breakfast. Okay, I just finished this. Here's the thing. I'm not typically a fantasy reader, so for me, this took me a while to get into. Like, I would say probably the first 100 pages, I was like, what am I doing to myself? But I do think, like, this is a retelling that's very feminist, very, like, I think a lot of times with fairy tales, I struggle because they're very, like, the man is like, oh, we all just want a man, like all the girls. And I think to some extent, like one of the characters is very much like that. But then something happens towards the end of the book in the last 100 pages that kind of took me off guard for sure. And I was not expecting it at all. But it just reiterated to me the fact that this is a very feminist book and that it very much lives in that camp. And I would totally read this. Like, just for that alone, like, incredible. But it definitely took me a while. Like, I'll be honest, it took me a while to get into it. Like, I would rate this probably like a 3.5 to 4 stars. I'm not sure where it's gonna land because I did really enjoy it, but there were parts that I was just like, what is going on? Um, but I don't have like a ton of notes. It's just that this is not my genre. So I think where a lot of like my stars kind of go down is just because it's not the typical genre I read. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Lady Tremaine. Okay, what? Why am I being cut off? Oh my gosh. Anyway. Okay. Um, hello. I am starting the Elsewhere Express, which is the second book I'm gonna read in the fantasy genre. Um, I've like started it, and boy oh boy, fantasy is a slog for me for sure. And I'm trying, guys. I really am. I think I'm really trying to get into fantasy, and I think there's like academia, like dark academia, like fantasy I could probably get into, but this just like fantastical train. I don't know about this. The next book I have is I think more political, so I think I'm gonna enjoy that a little bit more. But this, we'll see. I'm currently, how many pages am I in? I'm 80 pages in, so we'll see how much I get done today. I need to finish editing a video. I have therapy today, and then edit another video, and then hopefully get that book read. So that is the plan today. I also have yet to start packing. I know when you're seeing these videos, I will be on my vacation, but I currently have not packed. And I'm starting to get a little stressed about that because it's Alaska and I'm going to need a lot of stuff. But anyway, so I'm going to do a round of coloring to this video and then have breakfast because I showered before the gym. And so I did my hair and all that before the gym, which was very nice. So I didn't have to do it now. And then I am going to eat and then read, and you'll see. You'll see. It's not really a daily vlog, but you'll see when I read again. I have no idea when that's going to be. Okay, so update. It's currently 9:21, so I do need to actually go make breakfast now. But I only have like 200 pages. I have a little less than 200 pages left. I'm on page 219 now. So I am over halfway done with this book now. I would say the first like 170 pages didn't really care for it. I was like, what is going on in this book? And now I'm invested. Now I'm invested. So that's one thing to know, is it definitely took me a while, but I don't know if it's because I don't typically read this type of book, or like this genre really. So maybe I just like am not exposed to it, but I just really could care less about any of the characters until just now. Which I wouldn't say is necessarily a flaw, but it's not great either. So yeah, I'm gonna go eat and then we'll come back and do some reading. I am just exporting a video right now. So once that's exported and I read a little more of this, then I'll try to edit a little bit. I also do need to film as well. But I need coffee because I'm tired now. But coffee needs to be had. So let's do that. This is an angle. I have 1 hour, a little less than an hour before therapy. So I'm going to try to get as much read as I can. That way when therapy is over, I can finish this book off and then get another video edited, because I still have to do the thumbnail for the other one, but I'm going to do that now and then we'll see. What else? What else can I even say? I don't know. I'm tired, but my coffee is right here. So we're making progress. Okay, so I just finished this. This is also like one of the most beautiful like covers a book I have ever seen in my life. But I will say my thoughts kind of still remain the same. Which is the beginning of this book was like super just like not interesting and kind of boring, to be honest with you. And then it picked up in the second half of the book and I really enjoyed it. I'm still trying to figure out, like, I think for me this is kind of a solid 3-star, like 3-star book, because I think for me it's like, what did I gain from it? And I don't think I gained anything from it, even though I know that there was supposed to be like a message or like something to invoke a feeling in it, and I just did not have that, like, at all. Like, I think in some ways it's like embrace all of the parts that make you you, but I'm gonna have to sit with that and sit with this one because yeah. I will see you for the last book in this video, which is The Sword Catcher by Cassandra Clare. I don't know when I'm going to start that, but maybe today, maybe later today, but maybe tomorrow. I'm not sure. Yeah. That's my thoughts on the Elsewhere Express. Alright, so the next book I'm reading for fantasy is The Sword Catcher by Cassandra Clare. Now, I never read the Shadowhunters universe. I didn't really like the show, so therefore I never watched or read the books. So I'm not sure how this is gonna go. Obviously, like, fantasy is definitely harder for me, so I'm not sure. I do, however, from what people have told me and what I've seen online is that this is a little more like politic heavy or political heavy. What I have heard is that this book is political, like there's politics in it, and that I think will sell me on it. I've read the prologue, so I'm on chapter 1, which is page 39. So we'll see how much I read today. I finished that Elsewhere Express this morning, so I don't know how much I'm going to get read today because I also have to edit. So we shall see. And I will catch up with you probably tonight and give you a little bit of an update on where I'm at. Depends on how I feel. Also, I need to watch some playoff hockey as well today because I didn't watch any playoff hockey yesterday. So, fun times. Okay, so I'm on chapter 3. I haven't gotten very far. Which is page 71. I will say, like, as someone who would like never read the Shadowhunters universe, like, this is definitely new, and I don't read a ton of like fantasy like this, so it's definitely like taking my brain a little bit to like do this. I also am trying to edit a video and stuff like that, but I will say this is very good. So far I'm liking it. I think my only qualm, especially because I've been reading like single POVs for the last like little bit. So, because I just came off of reading Emily Henry, which y'all, I don't know if you're seeing. I'm assuming you're going to see that video before this one. But I think because of that, I'm like, thankfully we have dual POV. The only thing is that why is it not labeled? Like, I'm just reading, it goes back and forth, I think, but I'm like reading it, I'm like, I'm just out here thinking like, okay, are we in Lynn's perspective or are we in Kel's perspective? Because what? Why is it not labeled? Just tell me after the chapter who we're in. Like, I don't care if it's third POV, like third person. I don't normally read third person, but that's okay. I can get down with it if you just tell me who I'm reading. Like, why? Why we gotta do that? Like, I just can't logically understand this. It boggles my mind. It boggles my mind. Anyway, we'll see how much I get today. I mean, ideally, I would love to get halfway, but that would be 302 pages. And at the moment, I'm not seeing how that would be possible. But we will always try. Okay, that's a little better. Not great, but it's a little better. So I feel like I have not updated you at all, really. I let me start off by saying I was up at 4 a.m. and I could not sleep. And so I like showered and got ready and then decided to go to the gym while I put makeup on and did my hair. And then went to the gym. Makes no sense in my head. But anyway, I was also able to read, which you saw a little bit of that this morning. And then I read on the elliptical as per usual. And I think I'm like nearly halfway, if not halfway. How many pages is this? Do. This is the Rag Picker King. Okay. 604. Yeah. I am halfway at this point. Um, yeah, I'm on page 311. So here are my thoughts. First of all, I feel like there's some queerness going on in this. I don't think it's supposed to be spicy in any way, but there is definitely some queerness happening in this. Because no one can convince me Connor is straight by the way he acts sometimes. And like all they do is describe it as dramatic, and I'm like, wow, like where did my brain go on that? But honestly, the way he acts, I'm like, especially with Kel, I'm like, girl, what? Like, back it up. Um, Especially because Connor does not want Kel sleeping in his own room. The logic. Okay. Anyway, my hope is to finish this today, to be completely honest with you. However, Noah Kahan's album came out today, which is now you know how far in advance I'm filming this video. It's because I'm going to be on vacation. How many times can I say I'm going on vacation? I don't know, but I'm going on a cruise, so therefore I will not have access to the internet to upload. So I'm doing all of this in advance. But because of that, I'm like existential crisis over here. But like I said, I am halfway through, so I am hoping I can get the other 300 pages read today, but we shall see. I have no clue what that's going to look like because I do have a video I have to edit and I have a few other things I have to do today. So we'll see. You're going to find out. I'm going to find out. There you go. Okay, so I just got back from getting my earring put back in because it fell out. It's a long story, but I had to go to the piercing shop to do that. But I did get a chance to read quite a fair bit. So I'm nearly on page 500. I'm on page 495. So yeah, I will be finishing this tonight. I do have to edit, so I'm gonna edit real quick and then go back to this tonight because I'm now in it. I think I did hear like I've heard a few people say that this book is like a lot more world building and the second one is better. So I'm looking forward to getting to that point because I definitely will be continuing with the series. Yeah. So that's the update. Not really much to really inform you on, unfortunately, because I didn't bring my camera when I went out. So yeah. Okay. So I just finished this book, this behemoth of a book, but I just finished it. The way this ends, I need Rag Picker King immediately. I will say I'm hoping that the next book is more of an adventure of the world because I do think that's what I was missing in this book. I felt like we were just like going between the salt and the palace and the like it just really I needed more adventure. I need to really like feel the world out a little more because I feel like we got a lot of like the politics, which is fine. We got a lot of the like kind of intricate details of like the society and how like women are treated and all that. And like that was super great. However, I do want more of an adventure. So I'm hoping the Rag Picker King will be that. Also, Connor, my God, Connor, like I feel like I just don't even know what to make of him. I think he's really annoying. Anyway, that is it for this book. That concludes our little fantasy experiment. So, what did I like about this genre? I really enjoyed it. I feel like there were some that were just like slogs, like the Elsewhere Express. Like, I don't think that's really for me, but something that is a little more political heavy, like Lady Tremaine was kind of had that political era, but also I liked that it was like a Cinderella retelling. I really enjoyed that. And I would definitely read more of those, but not dark, because I know there are some that are like dark and I don't want that. And then in terms of the sword catcher, like fantasies like this, I'm gonna go pick up the Rag Picker King as soon as I can. And so obviously, yes, I like this. I think anything with a very political type of system, I am going to enjoy. But also, like, if you know any, please leave me like some in the comments, because I feel like I need more, but I don't even know where to go or where to start. I want to read the A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab, but I'm not sure how that's going to go. But anyway, maybe I can do a reading vlog of that. But yeah, so that's all I'll say. And then what did I dislike about the genre? I mean, honestly, the Elsewhere Express just was so slow. I feel like I find that it either needs to be like Lady Tremaine, which is very like political heavy, and there was kind of like something going on all the time in terms of like the prince and the Cinderella character. Like there was stuff always going on. And then with the sword catcher, same thing. There's a lot going on. I do wish that we were more on an adventure, more than just like bopping between the salt and like the palace and the maze and the, yeah. Like I wish there was a little more movement, but I think overall, like, yeah. Like I just need more adventure, I think, in a fantasy. So that's why I dislike the Elsewhere Express. And then would I read the genre again? Absolutely. Like I always said I wasn't a fantasy reader, and I would say there's limits to that. I will say it needs to be very political. So yeah. Um that concludes this video. I am excited for this new fantasy journey that I am going to be on. Let me know like some of your favorite fantasies, but also like some of the political ones, like I said. And make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you guys next time. Bye.